So now that I'm in here, what I want to do is a update on the operating system. And in order to do that, I'm going to type yum, which is similar to what you would do on a Windows machine and when running Windows Update. I'm going to say option Y, which means yes to just go ahead and install everything, and update. And this is just going to run an update on all the operating system packages that are installed on the system. So now all of the updates have been completed. So what I'm going to do is reboot the machine so that all those updates take place and get loaded the next time around. So I'm going to use the command shutdown. I'm going to give it option R for a reboot, and then I need to give it a time, which I want to do this right now. So once I enter this, it's going to send the command to the computer, and it's going to go and reboot that host that is a guest OS on my operating system. Here is a problem that could arise. This is not going to happen to everyone, so if this does not happen, please ignore this little section and just fast forward a little bit. So if you do a reboot and the virtual machine comes up in the virtual window and shows the CentOS installing window again, then we need to make sure that you remove the CD drive from your virtual machine. Occasionally this can happen. One way to that is to actually just eject it from here. So you can click remove disk from virtual drive. So I can do that. If I select that option, it will eliminate that disk, and then we can do a reboot. I'm going to show you the other way of doing that, which is I'm going to exit this terminal session, which will basically shut the machine down. So it gives me the option of saving the machine state or powering it off. We do want to power off the machine, so click OK. And now we want to go back into the settings, just like we did before. Go over to the storage tab, and we can see that that CD drive is still attached. So click on the CD icon, and we want to remove disk from virtual drive. Basically the same option that we just saw in the other window. Do that. It now says it's empty, so that's a good sign. We click OK. That saves it, and now this time we can start up the virtual machine, and we will not get that same problem with it going to the installing window. It's booting up the actual operating system off the virtual hard disk. We are now resuming to the normal operation of updating your CentOS system. These reboot relatively quickly, so now I can, from my Mac, I can actually just hit the up arrow and get the last command that I ran here, or on other computers I may need to just type that out again, opening up SSH and going to the root username at the IP address. It's already bounced back up, so I can log in. And now I can do a uname-a, which is actually going to give me all the information about this system. So I can see that it's a 64-bit machine here, and I can see the version of the kernel that it's running. Gives me some basic info here. So next what I want to do is go over into my source directory, and this is where I'd like to go ahead and download all of my software that I'm going to actually compile and install on this computer or on my Asterisk server. So in this directory, I'm actually going to need to use the wget command, which that command is not found. So in order to be able to use that command, I'm going to have to go and use the yum tool again. And this time I'm going to pass it the option of install and wget. So I click that. It's going to go out and look for that package. It found the wget package, so I can click Y to install it, as in yes. It's going to download and install that. Now I have access to wget. Shows me the options that I have available here. So wget is going to give me the ability to download from a URL. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Safari again, and I need to download Asterisk. So we will go to asterisk.org, and as we saw in the presentation, we'll go to this download screen, and what I'm going to do is actually go to all versions of Asterisk, and this gives me that screen where I can see everything. And like I said in the presentation of the lecture, I do want to use certified asterisk 11. So that's right here. What I'm going to do is right click on that, copy that link, and go back to the terminal and do wget and paste that link in. Now, while that's downloading, what we're going to do is wait for that, and then we'll need to extract that tar file. Asterisk has finished downloading. I can do an ls, which is going to list all the files, so we can see that that asterisk file is in there. I can also do an ls-lah, which is going to list all in a list and show me the size of it in a human readable format. So here we can see that that download I just did was 34 meg. We see it's a tar.gz file. So to extract that, we need to do tar zxf to extract it, and then do that, and it simply extracts it. Now let me show you how to delete that folder we just extracted. Here I am going to delete the folder we just extracted using the remove recursive force command. So rm-capital R and then F for force. That removed that folder that we just created. So I'm going to extract this again, and this time I'm going to use zxf-v, which V stands for verbose, and what it'll do is actually show me what it's extracting and while it's doing it. So we can see all those files got extracted, and there's that folder available. I can go into the certified, and here's all the files that are within there. So now at this point, we need to run the configure command. So the configure command just gave us a whole bunch of errors that it didn't like. First off, it doesn't know where to find the GCC file or CC. It looks like we're having quite a few different errors. What this means are there are certain packages that haven't been installed. So before we proceed any further, we need to make sure we install those packages.